I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with being called mean or whatever else you want to say. See, there are some people, they act like you're supposed to audition for their approval. They act like you're supposed to perform for their acceptance. But when you understand that you are not everybody's cup of tea, you soon realize that people are automatically going to assume that you're mean, you're a twitch. They're going to assume that you are the worst person in the world simply because you are not their cup of tea, simply because you're not a performer, but you're authentic. And as quiet as kept, everybody is not going to get along, and everybody's personality is not going to judge with the other. And that is okay. You see, there are some people, because you are not their cup of tea, they automatically want to start problems with you instead of just leaving you alone. Oftentimes, these people allow their own insecurities, their own misery, their own jealousy, and maybe envy to get the best of them, instead of acknowledging that you're not their cup of tea and leaving you the heck alone. It's easier to mind your business and leave people alone than to make people be what you want them to be. See, there are some people, you might be a little bit too deep for them. You might be a little bit too involved, a little bit too invested, a little bit too educated. And instead of them leaving you alone and minding their business, they want you to perform and become what they want you to become. But you understand and you're all right with the fact that you are not their cup of tea. And the fact that they're not okay with that, that is a problem. These are often your people who feel like they're entitled to your space, entitled to your personality, entitled to be in your business, despite the fact that you are not their cup of tea. And I know that might sound weird to some people, but when you're dealing with somebody who is miserable, maybe jealous, envious, or they desire to bully you in some way, when you recognize that you are not their cup of tea and you really don't want to be bothered with them as well, they still want you to give them access to you so they can clown you, so they can make your life miserable, so they can offer up their opinion at the drop of a hat. But you recognize that you are not their cup of tea and you just mind your business, but they can't leave you alone. When people are jealous and envious of you, you'd be surprised how much they are fascinated and intrigued by you. It's like they treat you like a car wreck where it's a disaster, but they just can't stop looking. They're so interested. They're so curious as into how you do you. And even if they don't like you, and you see this a lot with women when they're jealous of other women, they still want all the details on you. They still want to follow your comings and goings, even though they don't like you. You are not their cup of tea. They might not like how you look. They might not like how you act. They might not like how you speak, but they're always keeping up with you so that they can clown you and put you down. It's very weird. Jealousy, envy, insecurity, and people who are miserable and have unchecked jealousy, they don't like you, and yet they aspire to be like you. Yes, for a lot of people, you are their blueprint. They put you on a pedestal and then get upset when you act like the person they know you are. You see, these people, they treat you as if you're supposed to dumb yourself down so that you could be more tolerable for them. It's weird. These people, you know that you're not their cup of tea and they don't like you, and yet they can't help but to keep up with you. They're very fascinated by you. Even though they don't like you, you are not their cup of tea. They expect for you to perform for them because it's them. There are some women, some people in general, because they're jealous and envious of you, because they feel some kind of way by your presence, they want you to always be begging for their attention, begging for their approval. They're hoping that you would change up your ways a little bit so that they can tolerate being around you. And when you refuse to do that, you just accept the fact that you're not their cup of tea, that's when they start treating you as if you've done something wrong. There are some women, for lack of a better words, they expect for you to kiss their backside. They expect for you to beg and grovel because they feel like they're that important in your life. And it's only because they're jealous and envious of you. That is what I call the subservient nature, where some women, let me sip some of my water. When they feel threatened, when they feel threatened or envious or jealous of another woman, they always want to keep that woman in a position of bowing down to her. They always want to keep you in a position of like begging for their approval. And when you don't operate that way, you just accept it for what it is and you just keep your distance from them, you'd be surprised at how much they try to be around you. I mean, I know many women in the workplace who experience this on a daily basis, where the woman clearly says that she doesn't like her. You know, the woman clearly is showing signs that she doesn't like this woman. You know, I have dealt with people who it was clear they don't like me for some reason, but they're always trying to be in my face. They always want to be around me. They always want to ask me something. They always want to just sit as close as possible, or whatever I do, they're trying to do the same thing, but better. It's always some kind of hidden competition when people say that you're not their cup of tea, and yet they want to be in your space. And that's the reason why for women, I truly believe that you have to be stern while also being kind. It's okay to be the kind of woman that is kind, that is feminine. You know, you treat people kindly, but you also have to be stern, because some people, even though they don't like you and they know that you're not their cup of tea, because they desire to bully you and disrespect you, they're hoping that you would give them enough leeway into your life so that they can kind of inflict some kind of misery. When you don't do that, when you just recognize that, look, I'm okay with everybody not being, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm okay with people not liking me for some reason, especially when I haven't done anything wrong. They're not going to like that. And I think it's because a lot of women, in my opinion, because so many women are fake, and I know that might sound weird to some people, but it's the truth. Many women live their lives trying to be like other people, or trying to get in the good graces of other people instead of just being themselves. And that's the reason why they don't know how to handle women who have accepted that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. And normally, if you are a woman who is strong, if you are smart, if you are beautiful, and you're kind on top of that, you're going to have issues with women. You're not going to be their cup of tea simply because you're not always putting yourself second to somebody else. You're not always looking at another woman and saying, okay, I feel some kind of way around her, and every time I show confidence, she acts funny, so I'm going to dumb myself down. A lot of women are expecting, especially when they're jealous and envious of you, only really when they're jealous and envious of you, they expect for you to dumb yourself down anytime they stare at you, anytime they give you the side eye, anytime they sigh, look you up and down, or produce weird energy. They expect for you to dumb yourself down in order to make them feel comfortable so you all can get along. And you're not willing to do that. So you're okay with not being everybody's cup of tea. You accept it. You understand that the people who are for you are going to be around you, but you're not willing to dumb yourself down so that these people can feel comfortable with you. And when women want to bully, they want to be able to intimidate you, they want you to feel some kind of fear from them. When you're not fazed by that and you're okay not being everybody's cup of tea, they're going to look at you like you are public enemy number one, simply because you're not giving any thought or attention to the little petty things they do to try to get you off your game, to try to crush your confidence, to try to put you down. It's like you're not bothered by that. You've accepted that you're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. And it's not because of anything that you did. I want you to understand that. Because some people, especially women who tend to be a little bit more masculine, when they scream, I'm okay not being everybody's cup of tea, it's because they're putting out negative energy. It's because they're doing things to make people not like them. When you accept that you are not everybody's cup of tea and people don't like you for it, oftentimes it's not because of anything that you have done to that person, especially when it comes to jealousy and envy amongst women. Oftentimes it's just because you're confident and you refuse to bow down in the presence of anyone. You refuse to dumb yourself down or shrink down. And for some women, that is a problem. They don't like women walking around with an air of confidence. Have you ever noticed that? Like if you're in the workplace and you walk through a little bit too confidently, a little bit too self-assured, that's suddenly when the relationship goes left. That's suddenly when, the people who used to talk to you, now they don't talk to you anymore because you are not shrinking yourself down. It's like you're still showing up, looking your best, feeling your best, doing your best work. And that alone, for women who are jealous and envious of other women, that will often cause them to not like you. That will cause them to see you as not their cup of tea. And you're okay with it because you refuse to shrink down. So you accept that you're not everybody's cup of tea, and people will start looking at you like you're mean because of it. Let's talk about you being called out as the mean girl, or you're mean, or you're brash, or you're too much. A lot of times when women want to do that reverse Uno and act like you're a mean girl simply because you're not going to accept their disrespect, that is their problem. I have been called, not a lot of different things, but some people have told me, I thought you were mean. I thought you were this. I thought you were that. And normally it was because I got them together real quick. And then once we had that interaction, we could act civil. Sometimes with women, when they desire to bully and disrespect you, it's almost like a testing ground where they have to see how far they can go with you. And when you put them in check, now you all can get along. And it's very sad, but that is the way a lot of women are, especially when they're jealous and envious or feel threatened in some way by another woman. They want to see how far they can bully you, how far they can disrespect you. And then when you check them on it, either they want to be your friend or they just don't want to be bothered with you at all. And that's okay. So you've accepted that, okay, if you see me as mean because I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me, so be it. If you see me as mean because I still stand my ground, despite the fact that you want to come against me, so be it. You accept the fact that you're not everybody's cup of tea and you're okay with it. And for my ladies, because I see your comments often, men do it too. Yes, men can be very jealous and very envious of women as well. And oftentimes when it comes to men, when you have a standard for yourself as a woman, and you adhere to that standard, you don't allow them to just offer you anything, they will say that you're a four-legged dog. They will say that you are mean. They will try to compare you to other women in order to crush your confidence or attempt to crush your confidence, all because you're not going for the things that they're putting down. See, yes, there are some men who could be just as bad, if not more so, than women. And it's all because you're not willing to play dumb in their presence. You have some men, especially when they're a little on the sassy side, they want to test you and see how far they can go against you because they feel threatened or intimidated by you. And you see this oftentimes in the workplace when it comes to different positions of power or when they have to answer to you. You have some men, because they think that you being in a position of power somehow is a slight on them, they can be super disrespectful. And I have dealt with that before in the past, especially working in finance, working in banking. Anytime you attempt to have an emotion, express an opinion, or you do your best work, they will see you as mean, overly opinionated, and you are a problem. And that's their problem. So you have accepted that you are not everybody's cup of tea, and you're perfectly fine with it. You're not willing to bow down, audition, or perform in order to get other people to like you. You are genuinely kind to other people, but you're not willing to perform simply because people want you to. And that's one of the major things, one of the major issues I have with many workplaces is that it's a lot of fakery. And I'm not talking about code switching and, being professional. I mean, having to bow down to other women and let them disrespect you, little sister you, bully you in order to get some kind of respect. Or taking the mistreatment from men who don't understand that a woman in a position of power is not a threat to them. It's a very weird dynamic, but you're okay not being everybody's cup of tea and you're not willing to perform for the masses, and they just have to accept that. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.